Hi, fourth grade. Welcome back to Math with Miss Raymond. We are still covering TEK 4.5a. We are working on those multi-step word problems with strip diagrams and an equation with a variable. Remember, a variable is just, instead of leaving a blank or putting a question mark, you put a letter in there instead. So we got this, fourth grade. Let's go ahead and take a look at our problem for today. Jonathan went to the store and bought 243 roses and 164 sunflowers. He will plant 9 of the plants in each row. How many full rows will Jonathan use to plant all of his plants? See my question here. It says, how many full rows will Jonathan use? Okay, and I'm going to box that word full, because that tells me there might be a remainder in my problem. And so that would be an only partially full row, but we want to just know how many full rows will he use. Okay, he went to the store and bought, and I see this word here because I see here my word plants in the question. Okay, and I see the word rows. He will plant 9 of the plants in each row. There's another math word there. Okay. But I don't see the plants. I see roses and sunflowers. Well, I know roses and sunflowers are plants. And before I can figure out how many are in each row, I need to know how many plants I have, roses and sunflowers together. And that's why I boxed the word and, because that there is telling me we will need to add. I'm going to turn my paper sideways again. I'm going to put on there 243 and 164. Okay, this is the roses. This is the sunflowers. That's a lot of plants. And we need to know the total number of plants. Okay, so we have 3 plus 4, which is 7. We have 4 plus 6, which is 10. And we have 2, 3, 4. So he bought 407 plants. So if I was going to start writing my equation, what we did was 243 plus 164. And we did that first, so I'm going to put parentheses around it. All right. Now it says, how many full rows will Jonathan use to plant all of his plants? And he planted 9 plants in each row. So is he going to have more than 407 rows? He couldn't have more than 407 rows because then there would be empty rows with no plants in them. So it's got to be less. So if it's less, we've got to either subtract or divide. Are we talking about equal groups? We sure are, because it says 9 in each row. So if we're talking about equal groups, we are going to divide. So I'm going to write then, we're going to divide that by 9 plants in each row. And now here's our variable. We don't know how many full rows he's going to need. So I'm going to put an R for row. Okay, because we don't know. That's like our question mark. We don't know how many full rows he's going to need. Now we're going to go ahead and do a problem. I'm going to draw a strip diagram. His total number of plants is 407. And there are 9 in each row. Well, we don't know how many of these boxes to draw, do we? 1, 2, 3. I know 9 times 3 is 27. 27 is nowhere near 407. So I'm guessing I'm probably going to have to draw quite a few boxes. So I'm going to do what they did on that one on the test. Okay, and what this just means is we don't know what amount is in here. Okay, and I'm going to do this, like this, 9, 9, 9. Okay, and so here we see 407. If we divide it into groups of 9, we need to know how many groups we are going to have. So if we don't know how many groups, our groups are R. Each group has 9, and the total equals 407. So we're going to divide 407 divided by 9. If I look, 9 into 4. Let me get that multiplication chart again. Because if I look here and I put my finger on the 9, 0 or 9. So that tells me 9 cannot go into 4. It would go into 4 0 times. So if we wanted, we could put a 0 up there. Okay? So then I'm going to just slide my finger across. I'm going to say 9 into 40. I think that will work better. So on my multiplication chart, I'm going to circle my 9. I'm going to slide across so I find a number equal to or slightly less than 40. Here I see 45, but that's more. So I have to go back down to 36. That's slightly less. And then I'm going to go straight up my multiplication chart, and I'm going to circle the 4 at the top. So I know 9 times 4 equals 36, or 36 divided by 9 equals 4. So I did my divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down. I'm probably going to have to write that a couple times. Okay. So I divided 40 divided by 9 is 4. 4 times 9 is 36. Then we're going to subtract 40 minus 36. 3, that'd be 0. 10 minus 6 is 4. Okay, then we're going to check. Is 4 less than 9? Most certainly it is. Then we are going to bring down the 7. Oh, this is interesting because I remember when I was looking for 40, I found 45. So when I slide across, I see 45. The next one is 54, so we can't go there. So I'm going to circle the 45, and I'm going to go straight up and circle the 5. So I see 9 times 5 is 45, or 45 divided by 9 is 5. Okay, and 45 is pretty close to 47. So we're going to put 45 there. Oops, I said 47 divided by 9 would be 5. 5 times 9 is 45. I'm going to subtract 2. We're going to check. Is 2 less than 9? Yes, it is. There's nothing else to bring down. So we have 2 plants. Now remember our question said, how many full rows will Jonathan use to plant all of his plants? So the full rows would be 45. So if I were going to draw it, I would have to draw 45 squares in my strip diagram. I don't think I want to do that because it would be very, very long. I wouldn't have enough paper. But remember that this here just means we don't know. There's an amount in there, a missing amount. Okay, so our answer would be 45 rows. Okay, and then you'll have one row that has 2 in it, just 2 lonely plants. So ladies and gentlemen, that is our math problem for the day. We have our equation with a variable, and we have a strip diagram, and we solved a multi-step problem because it has more than one step. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we will see all of you tomorrow.